Hi, and welcome to a new series of N Squared videos that are coming from around the world, literally. We have myself here in Sydney, Australia, and Frina, where are you?
I'm in the Netherlands, in Europe.
Okay, cool. So we thought today we would talk a little bit about the brand new Surface book that we published a couple of weeks ago, and tell you a little bit about the things behind the book. And actually, there's been quite a few questions about the book. So, Frina, I think you have some of those questions.
Yeah, I wrote them down so I can ask them to you. Why did you write the book, Neil? Can you tell
The,
us more about it?
the book is really written because surface development is about a lot more than just the technology. Surface development is about the thinking behind what it takes to build a great surface application. And a lot of that is around the tenets of being a good surface application and the pillars that are required to be used by the developers and the designers to build a good surface application. So the book doesn't just cover, this is the C# code you need to write in order to build a surface application. The book goes a lot deeper into what it actually means to be a good surface application. How does a good surface application interact with its users? How do the users interact with a good surface application? So it's about much more than just uh, coding. And I think, one of the things that led me to write it was the fact that I see a lot of developers struggling with the aspects of writing great surface applications. It's very easy to get the SDK now. It's available on MSDN to download. But, a lot of the applications that are being built are very average, almost Windows applications running on a table. And being Surface means so much more. And of course, the output of all the training that I've been doing around the world, training partners to build great Surface applications, meant that I had my hands, already in my hands. I had all the material I needed to put this book together. So, after a year of delivering Surface training, it seemed like the obvious thing to do.
Okay. And why should developers read the book?
Um, it's an interesting question actually, because a lot of the book is aimed. I'd say there's probably 50% maybe that's very kind of hands-on developer type engagement. Like we've got exercises, we've got code, but then the rest of the book is also about what does it take to build that great application. I think developers need to understand that it's no longer around just writing code, and it's no longer around just getting the functionality right. It's about getting the whole form correct. It's about the engagement model. It's about the interaction. And if developers don't understand how to make that come together, if developers can't work together with designers, with interaction designers, with graphics designers to put all those things together, if they don't understand it, then there's going to be a huge issue. So the book attempts to solve some of that by explaining why it's important to engage with designers and why and what value you can get out of understanding what it means to be a good surface application.
So it's also very appropriate for designers to read the book.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think whilst some of the more technical designers could easily get into some of the easy hands-on labs, there's a lot of walkthroughs and exercises to get going building your first surface application. They'd also get a lot of value out of thinking around what does it mean to be a good surface application? What are these, we talk about the kind of the three tenets or the major tenets of a surface application as social, seamless, and spatial. But what does that actually mean to be a social application? What does it mean to be a seamless application? What are we talking about when we talk about spatial? So the book explains that, and then it also explains the pillars that we talk about that you can use in order to drive the development and design of a great application. And actually, I know a couple of designers who have already bought the book, and they've been pretty happy with it. So we've had some nice feedback by email from the people that have bought the book already.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's
And
cool.
a lot of time I get a question why we just did an ebook, because it's an ebook.
Right.
Why didn't we do a regular book, like a hard copy one?
Yeah, look, it's a great question, and I think there's a couple of things. At N Squared, we're pretty focused on trying to be, more ecologically sound, and we're looking at what's the total cost of information sharing. And buying a book, sure, you think, oh, it's paper, someone had to chop down a tree, but not only that, but it has to be sent in a package, it has to be couriered somewhere, it has to be sent to shops. The total cost is much more than just the cost of the paper that's created on. So in order to, let's face it, we're moving to this, new phase of everything should be paperless. In fact, I've been running a paperless office for a long time, although if you look behind me, it might not look like it. But I scan in a lot of documents and try and go, paperless and recycle as much paper as possible. And I think in that same mindset, the value is in the information, and you can read your PDF on your computer or your tablet or your phone, and you can take it around with you in places that you might not necessarily take a physical book. I do understand there's a value in having physical books, and I still love the kind of tactile, interactive nature of physical books. But looking at the total cost, and the decision was made so far that we're going to go for an ebook only at the moment. Um, we have looked at, and potentially we might try and find some local publishers, so the shipping cost is a lot lower. So maybe we could find a local publisher somewhere in Europe and a local one in the US, and reduce the shipping. It's not just, and when I talk about cost, I'm not talking about dollar cost. I'm talking about the ecological cost of shipping a container of books around the world. It's just not smart. It's not a sensible thing to do.
And for people who hasn't have already bought the book, where can we buy it?
So the book is available. There's links all over our website at the moment, but it's the simple one to remember is nsquaredsolutions.com/surfacebook, and that'll take you straight to the Surface Book homepage, and you can buy a book there. We've published it through a system called Managed Publishing, and Managed Publishing will watermark the book with your own email address, so every page will be identified as your page, and then it's your book, and that helps with our copyright protection as well. I mean, I think it's important to remember that you know books, just like software, require copyright protection. We've spent a lot of effort on putting that book together, so we're trying to protect our copyright that way as well. So yeah, managed publishing is where it's actually available, but you can get a link to it from nsquaredsolutions.com/surfacebook.
Oh, and it's pretty nice if I download it. It's really my copy.
Right.
If I just buy a book in the bookstore, it's my copy, but it doesn't say so.
It doesn't say Freener inside it, right? Yeah.
No. And now it does.
Yeah.
It's my book. Mine, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I quite like it. I mean, I think managed publishing does a good job. And actually, if there's any publishers out there interested, or any authors out there, I should say, interested in using managed publishing, they can get in touch with us too, and we can help out pushing stuff through managed publishing. So yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Thank you. No, not from here.
Okay, cool. Well,
it's
been good.
Tell us anything more?
I don't think so. It's been good chatting to you, and it's nice to still talk to someone in the cold weather while I'm sitting in the hot weather, and I'm sorry about that, but
it's snowing here.
It's snowing?
Yeah, we have like 30
centimeters
of snow outside. Yeah.
Yeah, so we should say Merry Christmas to everyone out there, and Happy New Year. And we hope you enjoy the Surface Book, and we look forward to seeing some fantastic Surface apps being built, in the coming year. In 2010 should be a good year for building brand new touch and new interfaces. We look forward to it.